All right, welcome everyone. We're so glad all of you are here. Welcome to the 2018 Alumni Awards and Athletics Hall of Fame induction. We're so glad to see all of you here. We've got a great crowd. Thank you all so much for coming, especially to all the students that came. I know it's early in the morning on a Saturday. But we're missing some folks. There's some folks missing that are kind of important for this ceremony, so we need to bring them in and introduce you before we get started. So please, after I introduce each of them, if you could clap, because they're going to walk in, so we want to make them feel extra welcome. So give a big round of applause. If you happen to have played the same sport that they play, please cheer. If you graduated the same year as them, please give an extra loud cheer. So Todd, we need some, can you give me something to welcome the people with? Let's, some kind of an intro music. You got anything? All right. And first, being recognized as a distinguished alumnus, Tanya Bethel White. Second, being inducted into the Athletics Hall of Fame, Jonathan Rumley. Sorry, Lindy, I blew that. Next, being recognized as a distinguished alumnus, Tamra Ward Catronis. Next, the woman who knows that I don't know the alphabet, being inducted into the Athletics Hall of Fame, Lindy Bayman. Being recognized as our 2018 Outstanding Recent Alumnus, Danielle Fitzhugh. One of our two people that had the longest commute, being inducted into the Athletics Hall of Fame, Pernilla Milton. Being recognized as the Frank Campbell Outstanding Alumnus, Faith Reynolds Stamps. The other person with the long commute, being inducted into the Athletics Hall of Fame, SANDRA JOHANSSON. And last but never least, the man of the hour, being inducted into the Athletics Hall of Fame, Jimmy Allen. And now introducing your favorite president and mine, the woman of the hour, the tower of power. She'll make you say, woo, just like Jerry Clower, Dr. Tiffany Franks.
You know, he just makes me smile, and I hope he makes all of you smile really, really large. Is there anyone that can do that better than our Dan Hayes? Thank you. I never know how he's going to introduce me, so I always start to even blush before he gets ready. So anyway, oh, good morning, everyone. I can already feel the energy in this room, and I love it. To all of our alumni in this room, we welcome you home. Your alma mater has its arms around you today, and we are just simply thrilled to have you back. And we also welcome those who are special to you, who are beside you today. They have been part of your journeys, whether they are your parents, your children, your grandparents, your faculty, or a special mentor along the way. So we just appreciate those who are most special to you being beside you. You know, this event is a celebration. It's a celebration of the people of Averett. It's a celebration of Averett's mission and action by alumni who have achieved and given in extraordinary ways. Now, one special group that has given in many, many ways is Averett's Alumni Board under the leadership of Nancy Perry. Please help me show all of our appreciation for their service. If you're a member of Averett's Alumni Board, please stand so that we can recognize you. I can't say enough about how much the members of our Alumni Board give, and we just appreciate each of you so much. Today, we're also honored to welcome home members of the class of 1993 as they celebrate their 25th reunion. Let me see all of you stand. Members of the class of 1993. Now in your program, you'll see a listing of prior award recipients. You are a grand and impressive group, and I know some of you were able to come back to be with us this morning. We congratulate you again, and I would ask any of our past award recipients, as well as members of our Hall of Fame, to please stand. We just thank you for all that you mean to Averett. Prior award recipients and Hall of Fame members. To this year's Distinguished Alumni Award winners, this time is a celebration of each of you. Dr. Ann Welliford Cotter, Tamara Ward Catronis, Tanya White. You have distinguished yourselves in your careers and in your communities, and the way I like to think about each of you is that you are the best of the best. To our Mary Jo Davis Outstanding Alumnus Award winner, who's unfortunately unable to be with us today, Mary Frank's service on the Alumni Board for literally over 25 years has been phenomenal, and I'm so grateful for all the time that she has spent giving back to Averett University and our students. And while she can't be with us today, I know she is with us in spirit, and we will be thinking of her throughout this homecoming weekend. To our outstanding recent alumnus, Danielle Fitzhugh, you have worked tirelessly to improve the small businesses in the communities that you have served. To our Frank Campbell Award recipient, Faith Stamps, throughout your career, you have exemplified what it means to be a catalyst for positive change in this community and in the lives of countless young people. To our Averett Hall of Fame inductees, Jimmy Allen, Lindy Beeman, Sandra Johansson, Pernilla Milton, and Jonathan Rumley, you also are the best of the best, and you have distinguished yourselves as student athletes and as coaches. We celebrate you today, and we celebrate the significant impact that you have had on Averett's athletic programs. Congratulations on behalf of all of Averett. To each of our award recipients who we honor today, and to each of our prior award recipients and Hall of Fame inductees, you have each achieved remarkable things, and you have contributed greatly to the lives of students, to classrooms, to schools, and to universities, to athletics, to churches, to banks, to finance, to healthcare, to communities, to cities, to states, through public service, and to your alma mater. You are Averett's legacy. We will now begin our program with an invocation by Reverend Schuyler Daniel, our chaplain. Thank you.
Would you please join me for a word of prayer? Lord, we come before you this morning and we are overwhelmed with gratitude. We are thankful for places we call home and for people united by a common brother and sisterhood. Lord, we invoke your blessing upon our recipients of today's awards. May your Spirit empower them to use their platform to serve and transform your world for the better. May we all cast our crowns before your throne. In your holy name we pray. Amen.
Good morning. My name is Jackson Weller. I serve as Vice President of the Alumni Association. I have the distinct privilege this morning of introducing our distinguished alumni recipients. I'm going to start with Dr. Ann Welliford Cotter from the class of 1990. She's our first recipient of the Distinguished Alumnus Award. She's not able to be here with us today. She received her Bachelor of Arts in Management Psychology from Averett University, an MS in Gerontology, and PhD in Developmental Psychology from Virginia Commonwealth University. She's the chair of the Gerontology Department at VCU and is a former chair of the Governor's Commonwealth of Virginia Alzheimer's and Related Disorder Commission, as well as a recipient of the AGHE Distinguished Teacher Award. In 2011, Ann was honored by the Alzheimer's Association for her statewide advocacy. In 2012, she received the Mary C. Payne Leadership in Aging Award for her leadership in the field of aging. Currently, Ann has been integral in carrying forward the Greater Richmond Age Wave Collaborative, which is responsible for making our region a great place for all people to age. She lives with her husband in Richmond, Virginia, and she's not able to be here with us, but we certainly want to honor her as a distinguished alumnus. I'd like to invite Tamara Ward-Catronis up. Tamara graduated with her bachelor's in finance and political science in 1995. She earned an Averett MBA in 1998. A native of Pennsylvania County, she currently lives in Charlotte, North Carolina with her family. Tamara is currently the chief of staff for LendingTree, an online financial service marketplace that has an outstanding spokespuppet. Tamara has been with LendingTree since before their initial public offering, and during her 19-year career at the company, she has held a number of roles, starting as a financial analyst responsible for providing the financial planning support for the IPO in 1999, and working her way up to senior vice president roles in strategic initiatives, education, financial planning, and finance. Her accomplishments over the years have been many, including being responsible for the budgeting, forecasting, and financial planning across all brands, products, and functions for a $4 billion plus company. Her resume could be compared to baseball by calling her a utility infielder and features the concept of growing where you are. She is a remarkable example of how successful an Averett graduate can become. Today we recognize Tamara Ward-Catronis as a distinguished alumnus. Now I would invite Tamara to say a few words.
Thank you, Jackson. Thank you, Dr. Bryan. Averett means much more to me than the degrees that are hanging on the walls of my office. Averett became my extended family at the most critical time in my life. It began in 1990 when I skipped a grade in high school, graduated at 17, and dreamed of going away to a big college. I was accepted early decision at Virginia Tech, and at the exact same time, my mother was hired at Averett. Averett's strong employee benefits, particularly free tuition, won the debate on where I would go, and my big school dreams were crushed, at least for 2 years, I thought, until I figured out what I really wanted to do and could transfer out. Much to my surprise, my first 2 years at Averett were actually a lot of fun, and my grades reflected it. But then my world turned upside down when my younger brother was tragically killed. Of course, my family was devastated, and my mother had just been promoted to administrative assistant to Dr. Frank Campbell in the president's office. Dr. Campbell was a lifesaver to my mother in her grief, and the faculty and staff wrapped their arms around me in support as I completed my undergraduate education with a double major and a double minor. Looking back, I am certain that I received a better education in the smaller classrooms with individualized attention of excellent professors than I would have at any large state university, given what was going on in my life at the time. After finishing my undergraduate degree and working in the real world for a few months, I decided I should get an MBA. Dr. Campbell made an exception for me to enter the ACE Executive MBA program before I met the age requirements or work experience requirements. after I assured him I would not let him down and I could definitely do it. I will be forever grateful for the opportunities and challenges that Averett provided me for 6 very important years of my life. Throughout my career, I have worked beside people with degrees from the most prestigious universities in the country, but I'm proud to say that I am an Averett alumna. I strongly believe that success comes from hard work and taking advantage of every opportunity. I would like to thank Averett and the people that make it great for keeping me on track while I battled the toughest years of my life. I would not be here today without the unwavering support and love of my family, which includes Averett. It is an honor to be recognized, and I thank you all.
Our next recipient is Tanya Bethel White, and I'd invite Tanya up onto stage. Tanya graduated with a bachelor's in accounting and management in 1992, and then completed her MBA in 1994. While working on her master's degree, she served as Averett's cashier. After graduating, she worked at private accounting firms in Northern Virginia until joining the Department of Commerce in 1997. She now serves as the Chief Financial Officer for the Minority Business Development Agency within the United States Department of Commerce. As CFO, she leads the Office of Financial Management, Performance, and Program Evaluation, overseeing all of the agency's financial management activities, including budget formulation, budget execution, internal controls, agency performance, and enterprise risk management. She did all of this while raising a family and building a commercial building in the Bahamas to honor her father. Tanya was born and raised in Nassau, Bahamas. She now lives in Stratford, Virginia with her husband and 2 sons. Describing what an accountant does is not always exciting, but it's easy for anyone who sees to see how impressive it is to be responsible for things like patent and trademark financial audit. Because of the way that Tanya has been recognized and promoted for her work in the Department of Commerce, we are proud to name Tanya Bethel White as a distinguished alumnus. I invite Tanya to the stage.
Good morning, and thank you. Dr. Franks, you mentioned something that really humbled me this morning. You said that we represent the best of the best. And as I stand here before you today, I want to let you know that Averett gave me the best. And for that, I am forever grateful. I would like to recognize a few people in my life that I felt gave more than their best. First is Mrs. Wright. She's here. She was my accounting teacher. I'd like for her to stand and be recognized. I want to thank you from the depth of my heart. Those were hard times, but they paid off, and I really, really appreciate it. I would also like to thank Donna Mahalko. Donna was my mother here in the United States. She was there for me. She molded me into the great Catholic that I am today, and for that, I want to say thank you, Donna. I'd like for you to stand and be recognized. Donna has been a rock in my life. She came down to my wedding in the Bahamas. She's the godmother of my youngest child. She's been steadfast in my life, always visiting me in Stratford, Virginia. Her and her fiance, Keith Silverman, they're soon to be wed. I want to say thank you. While at Averett, it was a great experience. I actually fell in love and met my knight in shining armor. He is my center. He keeps me focused. He's the balance, and for that, I want to say thank you, Rodney White, and I would like for you to stand and be recognized. On coming here today, Dan mentioned that Rodney is probably deserving of Father of the Year, and I want to add to that, Husband of the Year. I love you from the very first day until today. And thank you for our beautiful children. Ryan, who's here with us today. Ryan, I would like for you to stand and be recognized. Thank you, thank you, thank you. My youngest son, Tevin, is not able to be here today. He's actually visiting Penn State. Very proud of him, and that's all I have to say. I just want to say thank you. Thank you, Averett. Really appreciate it. The board of directors, Dan Hayes, everyone in the audience. I'm humbled to stand here before you today, and I am just sincerely thankful. Thank you very much.
I'd like to invite Danielle Fitzhugh up onto the stage. The Outstanding Recent Alumnus Award is being presented today to Danielle Fitzhugh. She graduated from Averett in 2009, and since October of 2017, Danielle has served as the president and CEO for the Chesterfield Chamber of Commerce. Danielle has dedicated her time and effort to improving small businesses in each of the communities that she serves. Prior to her current position, Danielle led the Petersburg, Virginia Chamber to be recognized as the top small chamber by the American Chamber of Commerce Executives. In 2016, she was recognized as the Chamber Executive of the Year by the Virginia Chamber of Commerce Executives. Danielle was appointed to the Virginia SOL Committee and is currently serving on the Richard Bland College Foundation Board of Directors. She's also served on several United Way boards, the Charlottesville Albemarle Technical Education Center Advisory Board, the Cameron Foundation, and other boards and communities. In her spare time, she coaches basketball with the Chester Presbyterian Basketball Association and is now in charge of the league. She lives with her husband, George, in Chesterfield, Virginia. Danielle has dedicated each day to improving the communities that she lives and works in, not only for businesses, but for schools and youth. She's deserving of this award for being one of the best examples of what an Averett education is all about. In a world where success comes to people who work hard, Danielle is serving as an effective catalyst for positive change very quickly and has taken her Averett diploma with her. For doing so many great things so close to her graduation, we present Danielle Fitzhugh with the Outstanding Recent Alumnus Award.
So the award is for Outstanding Recent Alumnus, but I'm getting old. And I say that to mean, it took me a little while to get my degree because I wasn't a traditional student. This is only the second time I've been back to campus. I came graduation day. But that's because Averett had an opportunity for an accelerated program for us to complete our degree in a shorter period of time in Charlottesville. And I want to thank Dr. Frank and the team for having that accelerated program, because had it not been for that program, I might not be here today. And that allowed me, when my youngest son, who's now 11, was 3 weeks old, to go to an information session and go back to school after having done my 2-year associate's degree at our local community college. That allowed me to finish in 18 months, which had taken me 10 years prior to do 2 years worth of school. So I thank Averett. You all deserve the applause and the foresight, so thank you very much for that program. Now I'm gonna spend the rest of my couple little minutes telling a story. There were, birds fly south for the winter. And so there were 2 birds flying south for the winter. And along the way, they go up and down, high and low. And the 2 birds saw this frog as they were going around looking about. And the frog said, well, I want to go south for the winter, but I don't have wings. I can't get there. And the bird said, well, we can take you. Here, we'll get a piece of a branch, and you've got a strong tongue, so why don't you hold on? And the frog said, I can do that, I can do that. So the frog held on with his tongue, and the 2 birds held on to the branch, and they were flying south to the winter. And so again, the birds with the frog, they're going south, high and low, and they go across another area, and a couple other frogs saw them, and a couple other frogs said, that's such a neat idea. We want to do that. Who came up with that idea to fly south for the winter? The frog said, I did, as he was falling and became frog soup. I tell that story to mean nobody does anything by themselves. And I have a tribe. Most of them, a lot of them I brought with me. I'm not going to introduce them all. I will introduce my husband, George, but where's my tribe? All of y'all stand up. Yes, stand up, stand up. So when you have a village and you're an adult student, life gets in the way. My 2 nights a week that I spent in class with amazing faculty, that many of them traveled to Charlottesville to teach our classes. They traveled, a couple came from West Virginia, so they would come through Huntington, West Virginia to Charlottesville to teach my 1 night a week class. And thank you to all the faculty, but it's my family who babysat, because my kids were newborn, 3, 15. And so and I worked full time. And so without my village, I would not have been able to do the things that I can do in my community today, which is help future businesses, existing businesses grow, build their business, build their financial empire, and then turn around and build our community. So because of Averett, I've been able to put my little story into my communities and help them grow and be better places for which they are. It might have been purposeful because I was in Petersburg, and Petersburg has a lot of similarities to Danville. And the former chamber president here was a very dear friend who passed away about 1.5 years ago, who I worked tirelessly with to make both communities great in workforce development. So I would say it was always written that I was supposed to end up back in Danville today. So thank you very much.
Good morning. My name is Meg Stevens. I have the pleasure of serving as the Director of Athletics here at Averett University. Today marks the 15th induction ceremony to the Averett University Athletics Hall of Fame. I'm so pleased to see everyone here, especially our current students. Our current students have nicely coined an opportunity like this that they have been voluntold to be here today. I do a lot of voluntelling in athletics. But to our current students, hopefully today is one of those days where not only can you see our Hall of Fame, but you can see the history that has come before you. Will this be you? I wanted you to see what the best of the best has done before you. We talk about being a team and a family. How many teams at Averett University? They're well trained as well. There's one team and one family here at Averett University. Today is your opportunity to see those who were on the team before you, the legacy that they made when they were here. And then when you get going in the day-to-day practices and the games and the classes, today is a day for you to think about what happened before you arrived, but also the legacy that you will leave when you leave your mark here at Averett. Today we build on a tradition that began 20 years ago when we inducted the first group of former student athletes and administrators into the Hall of Fame. A total of 34 Cougars have been honored since 1998. Today we will make it 39. This Hall of Fame class, as a collective unit, may be the most decorated in terms of their awards and accomplishments. Each has made a lasting impression on our university and will be remembered in his or her own special way. As a department, our goal is to launch leaders of the future. Today, our current student athletes can see the achievements of those we will induct today and know that their experience as a student athlete is preparing them for much more than their next opponent. Those accomplishments are even more visible now that in recent years we have added multiple interactive displays around campus that showcase our Hall of Famers through stories and photos. As I call up each person, I'd like you to come up so I can embarrass you and you can stand here while I talk about you. Our first inductee today is Lindy Bayman, who is a member of the softball team from '99 to '02. Lindy earned all conference first team honors 3 times, 1999, 2000, and 2001, and all state accolades in 1999. A catcher and a designated hitter from the Danville area, Lindy was named Averett's Female Student Athlete of the Year in 2002. Lindy had a stellar career, batting .342 while averaging a hit per game in 154 games played. She finished with 169 runs scored, 104 runs batted in, 34 doubles, 5 home runs, 4 triples, just 99 to 2002. Her career batting average ranks 9th all-time, 5th all-time in RBIs, and 6th all-time in career hits. Prior to her junior season, Lindy represented Averett and played internationally during the summer in Holland and Belgium with the USA team in 2000. In 2014, she was selected to the USA South's 50th anniversary softball team. Lindy graduated from Averett in 2002 with a degree in physical education, wellness, and sports medicine. Following her collegiate career, she attended Jefferson College of Health Sciences to become a physical therapist assistant. Since then, she has worked in nursing homes and healthcare doing physical therapy. She continues to play softball in all the city leagues. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Hall of Famer, Lindy Beeman.
I do not like to speak in front of a lot of people, so this is very nerve-wracking. I'll say that to begin with, but I do want to say thank you to begin with. This is such an honor. It's funny that they started doing this in 1998. That's when I came here. That was my freshman year. When I started all this, when I was in high school, I had dreams of going to a big college as well and playing, and I had my son my senior year of high school, and Kathy Bocock, who was the coach at the time, talked me into coming to Averett, and I thought some of the same sentiments. I didn't want to go to a small college. I wanted to go somewhere big, but I came here, and it ended up being probably one of the best decisions I ever made. Averett was a great decision for me. It was like a family. Oh, I'm so nervous. Playing softball, all of you girls know, I met some of y'all earlier. It's like these girls become your family. I mean, you spend sometimes more time with them than your own family. And like I said, I started here, this year will be 20 years ago for me, and I still talk to a lot of my teammates that I made here, my friends that I made here. It meant a lot to me. You know, when you see all this, when they read all this stuff out, you don't think about that stuff when you're playing. So it's nice to be recognized for this kind of stuff. But I just want to thank you for being recognized. Softball has meant a lot in my life. Like they said, I still do play. I didn't get to play as much this year because I have been planning my wedding. I'm getting married next week, next Saturday, actually. So this has also been a very busy time, and I actually met my fiance playing softball. So it has been a big part of my life. So I want to say thank you to my parents. If it wouldn't have been for them, I would have not been able to go to college. They kept my son while I was playing through all the practices. They made it possible for me to go. And then thank you to Averett, thank you to everybody. Thank you for this award, and it's an honor to be recognized.
Our next Hall of Fame inductee is one of the most decorated women's soccer student athletes in program history, SANDRA JOHANSSON. SANDRA was a midfielder forward for the women's soccer program from 2010 to 2013. From Gothenburg, Sweden, the native totaled 37 goals and 24 assists in 73 career games for the Cougars. 8 of those goals were game winners. She ranks tied for first in career points with 98 and is tied for first in career assists and finished second in program history in all goals scored. A 4-time USA South All-Conference selection, JOHANSSON was voted to the 2013 USA South Player of the Year during her senior season. A 2-time All-Region selection, a 2-time All-State pick, JOHANSSON helped the Cougars win the 2012 USA South Conference regular season crown and the USA South Tournament Championship as Averett made its first ever NCAA tournament appearance. Off the field, JOHANSSON earned USA South Academic All-Conference recognition 3 times, receiving Academic All-District distinction from COSIDA and was named to the Academic All-State team. After graduating in 2014 with a bachelor's degree in biomedical science, Sandra worked for a year in research through Virginia Tech. She returned home to Sweden, where she's currently working in pathology. She's also continued to play soccer with several semi-pro teams. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Hall of Famer Sandra JOHANSSON.
Wow. All right, so I would like to start out with telling you all a little bit about how it all started with me going to the States and play collegiate soccer. The dream of going to the States to play collegiate soccer started back in Sweden when I was around 14. But already back then, I found one obstacle, and I was struggling a lot with the English. Coach Pierce, she got in contact with me pretty early on in my process of deciding what college I wanted to go to. And she emailed me a lot, and she wanted to call me on the phone. But I felt really nervous about the call, but she was stubborn, and she did call me. And during that call, she really made me feel confident, and that it felt that I already knew her after that call. And after struggling through both the SAT and the TOEFL test, she helped me to get accepted into Averett. And I am forever thankful for that. And I want to share with you my very first collegiate game for Averett University. It is quite a funny story. We had just finished off probably one of the worst weeks of my life. And I'm sure a lot of you guys in here today can relate. And it was the preseason. We were on the road to Randolph-Macon. It was 142 degrees outside. It was sunny and no wind at all. And for you who don't know, I'm from Sweden, and we're used to the Arctic cold. Even though I wanted to play as a forward, coach put me in the back line, and I was really happy to make the starting 11. We had just finished off the warm-up, and I was walking off the field to get my jersey and get prepared for the game. And all of a sudden, I get a hard hit against my head. And it was PERNILLA, who's also here today to get inducted into the Hall of Fame. She had by accident shot me in my head with the ball. I felt really dizzy, but I decided I wanted to play the game, and I did. And on the way back to Averett, I felt really, really dizzy, and the result was actually a concussion. But no worries though. PERNILLA and our other teammate and roommate, Camilla, who's not here today, the 3 of us, we became best friends. And if you saw one of us, you could be sure that the other 2 were also around. I am very happy that I took this step to move to the US. And I feel proud to have been a part of Averett University, and especially women's soccer program. We were a team with over 30 people on the team, and we were from 7 different nations. And we had all traveled so far to gather in this small city in Danville, this small city, Danville, in Virginia. And we were far away from our families, which made our team really, really strong and solid. And it sure has been a roller coaster ride. From struggling with the English in the very beginning and starting my collegiate career with a concussion, to finally be standing here and to receive this Hall of Fame induction. And in between that, I don't want to forget to mention that we won the conference tournament and the conference, and we got the ring that we've been working for so hard. And I would like to thank some people in my life, and I would like to start up with my family who's watching this right now online, and especially my mom. She used to stay up late to watch my games online too. And I want to thank Coach. Can you please stand up? Coach Pierce, she really helped us out from day one. Moving to a different country where you have never lived in the country or the culture before, she really helped us to, get on the road. And when we moved to our first apartment, we didn't have any electricity and we didn't know how to get that, and she helped us out with that. And she helped us to buy a car and fix insurance and all that. And we are forever grateful that you helped us from day one, for sure. I want to thank my roommates, Camilla and Pernilla, for always being there for me. I want to thank my team and all the staff around it. The biology department, and especially my advisor, Dr. Caldwell, who also came out to support our teams on our home games. To Dr. Ferg for the mental training and support, and for the Hall of Fame committee for electing me for the Hall of Fame. And Dr. Franks and her husband too for the support on our home games. I am so happy I took the step to move to the US and especially to Averett. And if I could, I would do it all over again. Averett is, and Averett will always be an essential and very essential part of my life. And for the soccer players over there in the corner, good luck on your game today. And I want to say soccer is a party, and we're all invited. And finally, thank you so much for this honor.
Our next Hall of Fame inductee is another outstanding women's soccer player, Pernilla Milton, class of 2013. In 3 seasons, the forward from Gothenburg, Sweden, scored a program record 41 goals, including 11 game winners, and had 16 assists in 48 career games. She was the 2011 USA South Conference Player of the Year and earned all conference honors every season, despite a season-ending injury that cut her freshman season in half. In 2012, she was named the USA South Tournament MVP while helping Averett win its first ever championship and the program's first berth in the NCAA tournament. In addition to leaving Averett with career goals record, Milton also set the career points record, which was later matched by teammate and fellow Hall of Famer SANDRA. An all-region and all-state selection on the field, Pernilla was also just as successful in the classroom. Graduating in just 3 years, Milton earned academic all-conference honors every season. Twice was named to the COSIDA Academic All-District team and earned academic all-state accolades. Following her final season in blue and gold, Pernilla was named Averett's Female Student Athlete of the Year. In 2014, she was selected onto the USA South's 50th anniversary women's soccer team. Milton earned her degree in business administration. Following graduation, she has played professionally in Sweden. Please welcome Hall of Famer Pernilla MILTON.
When I first came to Averett, I remember that I looked at the Hall of Fame wall at North Campus thinking, wow, these people have been chosen for their outstanding performance to represent Averett's history. What a great honor to have your name on that wall. And I remember I was thinking and crossing my fingers, maybe my name gets to be on that wall one day. As an international student, moving all the way from Sweden to United States, I am so glad that I ended up here at Averett University. I choose to study business, marketing management, and I'm so happy with that choice. And with a lot of help from teachers and mentors here at Averett, and especially Dr. Peggy Wright, I graduated in 3 years and received the Outstanding Business Award in class of 13, as well as I was elected to the Honorable Society Alpha Chi. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you. Soccer has always been my big passion, and as a soccer player here at Averett, I had a great time and a lot of success. My first season was cut short by an injury, but the athletic training team with Melanie helped me to come back stronger than ever. I am forever grateful for pushing me to work hard for my comeback and for all the hours that you put in to help me. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. My second and my third season was great in many ways, and I had so much fun along the road. The season of 2012 was the most amazing journey. We had a great team, and we were giving 110% every day to become the best. And for the first time in program history, we won the tournament. We went to the nationals, and we got that ring that we've been working so hard for. And I mean, it was a nice feeling to know that we didn't do all those hill sprints during preseason for nothing. But the biggest thank you today I want to give is to my former coach and her staff, Coach Pierce, Scotty, and Dan. You are all amazing. Thank you for believing in me and for everything you have done for me. Not only being a great coach, but a mentor in life and someone who was always there for me, helping me to accomplish my goals. I received many individuals awards during my college soccer career, and they were all possible because of you. I am forever grateful for that. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you. Averett became a second family for me, and because of Averett, I have friends all over the world today. I would like to say a big thank you to my team here at Averett, and especially Sandra and Camilla for making my 3 years here at Averett so special. All the laughs and all the fun times, always being there for each other in good times and in bad times. My sisters for life. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. To end this speech, I want to say that what I crossed my fingers for when I first came here to Averett becomes reality today. Something that seemed so far away becomes true. My name will be on Averett's Hall of Fame wall. No words can describe my feelings enough. I am beyond honored. To be chosen as one of those people who marks Averett history is a privilege for me. That my name will forever be up on that wall. Thank you to our great president, Dr. Franks, and to the athletic department. Thank you to all of you who made this possible. Thank you to my family at home for your support and your endless love. Dreams do come true. Go Cougars.
Our next Hall of Fame inductee today is former men's basketball standout, Jonathan Rumley, class of 2009. Rumley starred for the men's basketball team for 3 seasons, from 2006 to 2009, after transferring to Averett. A native of Winston-Salem, North Carolina, Rumley's addition helped the Cougars win 3 consecutive USA South Tournament championships, and make 3 NCAA tournament appearances in a row. Rumley, a guard, was named the National Association of Basketball Coaches All-America First Team following his senior year. He was also named the NABC South District Player of the Year, State Player of the Year, and USA South Player of the Year. A 2-time USA South All-Conference First Team selection, and a 2-time USA South Tournament MVP. Rumley finished with 1,186 career points and 511 career rebounds, both of which rank him among Averett's top 10 in each category. Rumley averaged 15 points, 6.5 rebounds, 5.2 assists, and a program record 2.3 steals per game in over 79 career games. He holds several other program records and was the second Cougar to record a triple-double. He was named Averett's Male Student Athlete of the Year in 2009. In 2014, he was selected to the USA South's 50th anniversary team. Rumley earned his degree in sociology from Averett. After a brief pro career overseas, Rumley currently works in the Winston-Salem Fire Department and also referees college basketball, including several Division I conferences. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Hall of Famer Jonathan Rumley.
I did a lot, didn't I? I appreciate everybody. Thank you for being here. I know my family was nervous. They thought I didn't write nothing down, but I did. So I get up here and get to rambling. Me and Dr. Franks, we were just laughing because when she first got here, I told her, I said, well, you know, when I graduate and do something, you got to give me a chest bump. So when I came up here, I said, you ready? So, so she's going to get it after this. We're going to do that. Let me get on with it before they start playing the music like they do at the awards, and they rush me off. I first like to thank God. Without this, without him, nothing would be possible. So I got to give him that honor. I wouldn't be standing here. Second, I'd like to thank a great university. Without them, I wouldn't be here either. They gave a lost boy a second chance. They gave me a second chance at life and a second chance to be another student. So I want to thank them. I also want to thank Dr. Clark, who told me I gave her several gray hairs. I'm gonna own those. Those are mine. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. She put in a lot of time and hard work with me, and it was hard work. It was really hard work. I want to thank Coach Allen. Words can't even describe it. I went to Richmond, Virginia for another chance of playing basketball because I had stopped playing. And I met him. We were walking down the street to the subway. I don't know if he remembers this. And I said, hey, he said, hey, my name is Jonathan Rumley. He said, okay, I'm Jimmy Allen. I said, you need to be at my court watching me. He said, okay. He came. I told him we were going to make history. And look at us now. And we're staying here together. We won a couple rings together. I gave him a couple gray hairs as well. But I want to thank you for taking a chance on me. It meant a lot to me. Sticking by me. Excuse me. I want to thank my sister. That was my first fan ever in New York, a small apartment in New York. I used to put her on the bed in her car seat, and my little Michael Jordan hoop, I used to play in the room. That was my very first fan ever. Excuse me. I want to thank Nathan Baskett, my spiritual advisor. He kept, every time I call him, keep faith. I would lose my way, keep your faith. He would always tell me, trust in God, it's going to work. I want to thank Carmen Rumley. She always gave me an encouraging word. Excuse me, y'all. She gave me an encouraging word every time I called her. I want to thank my grandmother, who's not here right now, but that's like my best friend in the whole wide world. Excuse me. I want to thank her. I want to thank my father, who's here, flew in from New York. First put a ball in my hand, always told me that I was great, always told me I was going to be something. And my Hall of Fame career started in the backyard in New York. when we were playing, and he finally decided that he wasn't going to let me win anymore, and I beat him by falling up the driveway, hitting a fadeaway shot, and that's when I started. Thank you, baby. I want to thank my mother. That was my biggest fan ever. That was my provider. That was my rock. Excuse me. She was always there for me. I mean, I couldn't do nothing without that woman in my life. And I'm gonna stop, Mom. I just want to thank you, Mom. We got another one. I want to thank my biggest fan. I want to thank my wife, my backbone, who's always there for me. Stood by my side. Even when I didn't want to do right, she was always there. That's my better half. I want to thank her for giving me 2 beautiful daughters, Day and Jade. I love y'all, and I thank y'all so much. Thank you.
Our final Hall of Fame inductee today is former men's basketball coach Jimmy Allen. Allen took over an Averett University men's basketball program that had gone winless the season prior to his arrival, and quickly turned the Cougars into perennial conference power during his 6 seasons at Averett between 2004 and 2010. Allen's teams went 97-70, winning 3 USA South Conference regular season titles and 3 conference tournament championships, while making 3 consecutive trips to the NCAA tournament. His 2008-9 squad advanced to the second round. The 3-time USA South Coach of the Year holds the program's coaching records for highest winning percentage overall and in-conference play. In addition to coaching men's basketball, Allen served as an assistant director of athletics for community outreach during his final year with the Cougars. For 3 straight seasons, Allen's teams had been selected by their peers the USA South Conference winners of the Sportsmanship Award. In May 2007, the team was also presented with the Community Youth Service Award by the Dan River Center for Volunteerism. In 2008, the team received recognition from Big Brothers, Big Sisters of Danville. Allen departed following the 2009-2010 season to become an assistant coach at Division I Army West Point, where he eventually became the head coach prior to the 2016-17 season. This is where he currently coaches. Welcome Jimmy Allen to the Hall of Fame.
Thank you very much. If my English is not very good today, it's Andrew Boer's fault. He kept me out too late last night. Where is Andrew? There he is. Danny and I had a bet as to whether Andrew would make it here today in time. But first, I want to congratulate all the other inductees and thank the Averett leadership for the support and the opportunity. I know I'm probably the one person standing between everyone getting out of here, so I'm going to try to be brief, but I do want to thank a lot of people. When Meg called me about this award, the only thing that I could think about was that this is an award for everybody that was here when I was here. And when you think of a Coach of the Year award or any kind of recognition for a coach, the thing that comes to my mind is, you know, that's recognition as the Team of the Year. That's recognition as for the team and the program. And when I was here, you know, I could read right now the Averett staff directory, and I would hope that everybody in there felt like they were getting an award today, because every single person that was here played a role in our team's success. And there's no way that I can do all that, but I hope that people feel that way. there's not many opportunities that you get in life where you can thank people that have helped you along. Certainly this is one of them for me, and I had great support from my parents growing up. They supported me and encouraged me to follow my dream of being a college basketball player, and completely supported me when I became a basketball coach for a while, because usually new coaches don't get paid very much. You know, I can't thank them enough for what they did for me. I want to thank Katie Allen and you know, her support and what she did for this program during our time here. And James Allen, my son, I'm not going to make him stand up. He would probably kill me. But as a coach, you know, you invest a lot of time away from the people that you care about, and they have to be understanding of that. And I have been incredibly lucky. I've been incredibly lucky to have been around mentors and people that have supported me, coaches, Billy Pope, my high school coach, Coach Johnson, my college basketball coach. When I got here, I couldn't have asked for a better mentor than Charles Harris. I don't know where Charles is. There we go. He did everything he absolutely could to help us have success when I was here. And, you know, when I met Charles, he was wearing suspenders and he was wearing sandals back then. And we went into the Grant Center and we sat down in the right corner on the bleachers, and we talked about what we wanted this basketball program to be like, and all of the things that, you know, that we wanted it to represent. And at the end of that discussion, Charles said, I would also like to hang some banners in here. And every one of us was able to do that during that time, and I'm grateful for that. When Drew Wilson called me, he asked about what I thought was the reason that we were successful when I was here. And I think there's a lot of reasons. Most of all, the people that were willing to help. Again, I wish I could name them all. Becky Clark, Dr. Wright, Dr. Ferguson. We brought Dr. Ferguson in one morning on a Sunday morning because we used to play, I don't know if we still play back-to-back a lot, but we played on Saturday, and we weren't making any free throws on Saturday. And I know all the fans, when you go to a basketball game, think that coaches don't practice that or spend any time on that. But we brought Dr. Ferguson in, and on Sunday morning he got up and came over and talked to our team. And I remember Andrew Bohr actually made big free throws down the stretch of that Sunday game. People like Lee Burton, most of all the players who they bought into a dream that all of us had, and they were super unselfish. And what they did was they were superstars in the roles that they had. And that role wasn't always the star role. That role was not a lot of times. And people accepted that. Dimitri Brackman didn't have the career on the court that everyone wants. And yet, when these guys got the opportunity, they were ready. They supported their teammates when they didn't get the limelight, and when they got that opportunity, they stepped up. Dimitri had 14 points in the first half of our championship game after not scoring 14 points all year. You know, there's a story, Andrew Bohr again and Lyman Gregory. When Andrew was a senior, he battled a lot of injuries in his career, and he was really struggling physically. And we had two guys, Andrew and Lyman Gregory, and they both played the same position. And Andrew was still extremely effective offensively, and Lyman was much more effective defensively. And I told those guys, you guys are just going to sub every dead ball, offense, defense. I'm not going to send you in. You're going to do that yourself. Andrew obviously was very excited because he got to play many, many more possessions offensively. Everyone else was excited because they didn't have to watch Andrew play as many possessions defensively. But most kids wouldn't agree to do that and be that unselfish. Guys like Justin Parker, Jeff Welling was a kid who, the first year we made the NCAA tournament, we had 16 guys on our roster, and you only get to dress 15 in an NCAA tournament game. And you can imagine the conversation with a kid in your office who's done everything the entire year and doesn't get to dress for the NCAA tournament. And both of us had some tears, and you have to make a decision. Jeff accepted the decision. Fast forward a couple of years later, and Jeff got probably the biggest rebound in program history. He got an offensive rebound on a free throw in Danville, Kentucky, that won the game for us. We got the ball, we scored on the ensuing possession, and won our tournament game. We had guys like Luke, Raymond Knoll, Sterling Williams, guys that just put everything they could into this program and accepted whatever role it took. And that's very unselfish. I want to come back to Jonathan Rumley. Jonathan mentioned, there was a ton of accolades, and you read that list. I thought she was going to talk about how he got water for people during water breaks and stuff like that. He was an amazing player. But Jonathan talked about, before coming here, he didn't realize how much of a mama's boy he was. And I didn't realize that either until the first day of conditioning. We were down on one of the practice fields, and guys were running, and Jonathan maybe ran 2 sprints and was laying on the ground and was complaining that he was going to die. And I said, "You're not going to die because you're still talking." But Drew Wilson also asked me, what are some things that I've learned that that helped me today as a coach or just in life in general. And there's a couple quick stories. One is our very first day of practice, the first year that I was here, new coach, first time head coach. I was gonna be authoritative. I was gonna let the guys know who the boss was. And we started a drill. The drill wasn't going very well, and I blew the whistle, and I had the basketball, and I slammed that basketball down. Going to show them who was boss, and the ball bounced up, and it dislocated my finger. At this point, you got a decision to make. I wanted to cry. Also, it's first time in front of your team. I turned around, popped my finger back in place, and then proceeded to continue to yell at the guys and show them who's boss. But I learned not to slam a ball down like that. Another time, it was our first year, we were playing at Ferrum, and at the time, halftime, they put you in a classroom, and we weren't playing very well. Ferrum was obviously, I'm sure now as well, a huge rival, big deal. Didn't think our team was playing with very much emotion. Troy Fluker, our assistant coach at the time, and I were out there at halftime, and I was like, I'm going in there, I'm going to get these guys fired up. We're not playing with any passion. We're not playing with any emotion. I'm going to show them what that's like. I go in, I start in on them, and in my excitement, I kick as hard as I can one of the chairs, thinking that it's going to fly across the room. It was bolted to the floor. And again, another moment where you can either crumple to the floor in tears or suck it up. Guys ran out on the floor, and Troy, our assistant, is almost in tears himself because he knew how bad that was going to hurt. So I learned not to kick chairs. The other thing, we were playing again that first year. We bussed all the way up to Hood College in Maryland. We were playing at a community college, and it was a Wednesday night game. It was crazy. Game was coming down to the last couple minutes. Last almost 30 seconds. We were down 2. We get the rebound, and Sterling Williams is dribbling towards the bench. Everybody thinks, we got the last possession. We're going to call a timeout. I'm looking at Troy. Should I call a timeout? Not sure. I have no idea what to do at this point. Sterling comes over like he's, waiting for me to call a timeout. Everybody comes over thinking that we're going to call a timeout. I'm kind of had this confused look on my face. Sterling turns and takes off as everybody's coming over to the benches, lays the ball in, sends the game to overtime. So I just try to stay out of the way as much as I can as a coach, and that's one of the things that I've learned. But honestly, I do and will always cherish the opportunity that I had and that Averett gave me. And I'll always be a fan. I'm a huge fan of the program. The great thing about social media nowadays is you can follow, everybody. And what Coach Duino and the basketball team are doing now is wonderful. Super excited for you guys. Always following you. But most of all, I just hope that every single person that was here during the time that I was here feels like they're being recognized by this award today, because we started off talking about Averett being a team and being one team, and that's all I ever felt here, and I'm grateful for that opportunity. So thank you very much.
What an incredible class. Let's hear it for the 2018 members of the Averett Athletics Hall of Fame. On behalf of all Averett student athletes, coaches, administrators, alumni, and Cougar fans throughout the world, thanks for joining us for the Hall of Fame ceremony today. To our current students, will this be you? What will your legacy be? You are creating the person you will become. And whether you're a Hall of Famer today or you're an Alumni Award winner, Averett's your home. This is your home and your family. And it's so much more about what we just do on a classroom or in a court or on a field. Thank you to those Hall of Famers and their families and their friends who came back to celebrate with us today. Enjoy the rest of this morning's program. And remember, we've got 2 games happening later this afternoon. We'll see you at 1:30 at women's soccer, and we'll see you at 6:30 for football. Thank you. Go Cougars.
It's my pleasure to introduce the 2 Alumni Service Awards. The Mary Jo Davis Service Award is presented this year to Mary Clifton Franks. Mary Jo Davis served Averett for more than 40 years. She graduated from Averett in 1955 after teaching and then taught in Danville at the high school. She worked at Averett in admissions as alumni director, dean of students, development director, and as a volunteer after she retired. She gave a lifetime of service for Averett, and we honor this alumnus whose commitment to Averett honors the unselfish way of Mary Jo Davis. Mary Clifton Franks moved to Danville in 1955 in a new house on Mountain View across from Danville Hall. Her father told her when she got ready to go to college she could just walk across the street, and she said, "No, I'm going to UCLA." But her dad was right. Franks graduated with her Associate of Science degree in 1966 and used her business training all through her work years. She is currently an active member in her church and finds her most fulfilling time with hospice as a volunteer, speaker, and bereavement coordinator. Frank believes her many life lessons are learned through the years she spent with hospice. She has also been part of the Danville Museum of Fine Arts and History, board chair for the Danville Redevelopment and Housing Authority, and has been involved with many other community organizations. She became active in Averett Alumni Association in 1991. She's been known by many generations of Averett alumni as the lady with the glasses. She is a fixture of ongoing service on the campus and has served her with her time, talent, and treasure very actively for 27 years. She is the president emeritus of the Averett Alumni Association. Mary is married to Jerry and lives in Danville. She's not able to be here because of a recently diagnosed illness, but she has a positive prognosis, and we plan to see her involved in Averett for many more years. So we're proud to present Mary with the Lifetime Service Award. Dr. Frank Campbell served as president of Averett University from 1985 until 2002. Dr. Campbell led the charge to achieve university status. He was responsible for the construction of the Music Center, Equestrian Center, North Campus, and Sports Complex, as well as Averett Commons Apartments. The campus expanded under his tenure from 19 to 210 acres, and he was also responsible for introducing the GPS program. The 2018 Frank Campbell Service Award is presented to Faith Stamps. Stamps received her undergraduate degree in 1994, her master's degree from Averett in 2003, both in education. She is also a graduate of Harvard University's Executive Leadership Program. She serves as the CEO of the Boys and Girls Clubs of the Danville area, where she leads the strategic direction of the Board of Directors to serve over 300 youth in Danville and Pennsylvania County area. Under her leadership, the Boys and Girls Club has flourished. For her role in serving the young people of Danville and Pennsylvania County, she is deserving of this award, but that's not all she does. She served as the 2017-18 International President of Pilot International Board of Directors after serving on the board for 4 years as Secretary, Vice President, and President-elect. Pilot International is an active in the USA as well as Japan and the Bahamas. She exemplifies the pilot creed of do more, be more. Pilot International is a volunteer organization focused on youth development and leadership, brain safety, and health. But that's not all she does. She currently serves on the board of directors for Middle Border Forward, a regional initiative focused on community engagement, leadership, development, diversity, and inclusion. She served on the statewide advisory council for the Virginia Partnership for Out-of-School Time. Living in Danville, she regularly returns to campus for alumni events and activities. She's married to Larry, and they have 2 godsons, and she lives in Danville. For her ongoing service to the world, the region, Danville, and Averett, we are proud to name Faith Reynolds Stamps as the recipient of the Frank R. Campbell Service Award.
Jimmy, I may need some of your tissues. So here's what I know is true. I pulled that line from Oprah about Averett. Averett's family. If you listen to every person who spoke today, Averett is family. Everyone up here named an individual or 2 or 3 who impacted their lives while here at Averett. I'm extremely grateful for this award. I'm extremely humbled for this award. And I'm also very honored to be among all of you who received awards today. Here's what I know is true about Averett. Attitude matters. Averett instilled in all of us, and still does to this day, service. Service above self. Averett is, and has always been, one team. Here's what I know is true about Averett. Support matters. Averett has supported so many individuals. Averett continues to support so many that walk through its halls every single day. The other thing I know about Averett that's true is that kindness matters. Just listening to you all talk amongst yourselves in the hallway and the support that Averett has given to each one of you, kindness is instilled in not only the students, but the faculty and the staff. It was really interesting. About a couple of weeks ago, I was asked about this award, and someone said, well, what was the most impactful thing about your time at Averett? That's a really tough question to answer. The most impactful thing. You know, I often joke, especially with Dan, that I didn't necessarily get it right the first time and had to come back the second time. But it truly, the most impactful thing about Averett, and I think about Dr. Franks and Dr. Campbell, is the service. The values that Averett teaches us and has taught us over the years sits within each one of us. And I think it carries we carry those things with us day to day. And so we're always proud to be a part of the Averett family.
And so I asked this young individual, because it was actually one of the club kids at the Boys and Girls Club, so what do you mean really about service? And we instill in our kids at the Boys and Girls Club every day that walk through our doors, that's about giving back, right? It's about supporting someone in need, or lending a hand, or helping with homework. But it's providing that service to someone in need. And I think that Averett, again, instills in all of us that very thing. So again, I am probably, Jimmy, the one standing between lunch and the end of this and lunch. Are you still there? Good. I'm very, very humbled to be a part of this today and to receive the Frank Campbell Award. And thank you all so much. Thank you.
We've honored some wonderful people today. We'd like to ask all the recipients, please stick around afterwards and come up on the stage. We're going to do some posed photos so we have good photos to share with newspapers and internet webs and FaceTimes and Instagrams and all those things. But at this time, we'd like to take a couple moments to honor the legacy of Averett. Averett graduates are teachers, pilots, firefighters, police officers, nurses, nurses' assistants, physical therapists, social workers, business people, preachers, doctors, and university employees. As a university, we want to honor not just the alumni that have done great things, but all of our alumni that are catalysts for positive change in the world. We have put out the call to alumni that graduated 25 years ago. They graduated in 1993. Some of them say they were 12 when they came, apparently. That's because there's no way they could be old enough to have been here 25 years ago. But we'd like to ask at this time that all of the folks that are here today that are joining us from the class of 1993, please come forward and line up in front of me here. And as you come up, I'm going to share some memories that you might remember. Start coming. They didn't pay attention in class. Remember Paul from the cafeteria. Remember sledding on trays. Phi Sigma Sigma, Pi Kappa Phi, Sweet 16. Homecoming soccer, the homecoming soccer game. The homecoming queen was Teresa Petty. A volleyball team that spent their games against Ferrum were more time on the road to get there and back than to actually play the game. Fitness Center, the Fitness Center, what was the Fitness Center when you were students is now Dr. Wright's classroom. The calf was fine, but my wife can still not eat celery because it was in everything. But we always looked forward to Stromboli Day and Chicken Patty Day. Lots of these things are memories, and Averett has come a long way, and we are so proud of all the things that Averett is doing and that Averett has done. But we'd like to take a moment now to present each of these folks with a pin that they can use to commemorate their time at Averett. It's a image of the columns with the 2 and the 5 intertwined among it. And I hope that all of you will come back at your 25th reunion and come back and receive your pin, and we'll be proud to pin you at that time. So we'll take a couple personal moments with each of these folks up here, but if you could give them a round of applause for what they do in the community. Before you leave, Dr. Franks has some things to tell you as well.
Let's give them another round of applause. Thank you. Oh my goodness. I don't know if you're feeling what I am, but I'm sort of overwhelmed with emotion because when you listen to the stories, you listen to the reflections, you hear the gratitude in each one of our award winners and recipients, Hall of Fame inductees. You hear such gratitude, you hear such inspiration. You're reminded of the role, that important role that mentors have played, mentors as faculty, mentors as staff and coaches, what it means for students to support one another, and for the role of our family in our success. And so this is one of my favorite events of the year because I just think it absolutely embodies everything that we are about. So let's give one more round of applause for all of our winners. I want to offer some special thank yous before we close. I especially want to thank our alumni board for your service and the many ways you support Averett. Thank you again. Thank you. There's another special group I want to thank. Each award recipient has been given a shepherd, if you will, and a shepherd is someone who makes sure that everything goes well for each of our recipients, and the shepherd has been available to answer questions. Please join me in thanking each of our shepherds in the room. And finally, we know that events like this do not just happen, and I want you to join me in thanking the people that have really worked so hard behind the scenes, starting with Dan Hayes, Buddy Raleigh, Sherry McDowell, and Lynette Lawson, and the entire advancement team. Thank you all for everything that you have done. I also want to thank Drew Wilson, who's in the back. He's instrumental in all the Hall of Fame induction work, so thank you all for what you've done. Everybody kept saying they were the last one before you get to leave, but I really am the last one. I got to close with just a few other thoughts. I'm often asked to describe Averett, and that is so easy for me to do, and I can do it in two simple words, and the two simple words are packed with such meaning, and those two words are life-changing. I learned that when I started meeting Averett alumni 10 years ago. And you heard it on this stage today. Each one of you talked about life-changing experiences while you were here. I'm so proud that your alma mater continues to be very, very blessed. If you've not been on campus in a while, I want you to know that our paw print, and I like to think of it as a paw print, our paw print across this community, across this region, across this state, and beyond is big. And there's a lot of exciting things happening here. And I want you to be able to experience as much of that as you can while you are here. This fall, we welcome the largest freshman class on record. And over the past 2 years at Averett, our undergraduate traditional enrollment has grown by nearly 100 students. And you can feel that energy and that spirit throughout our campus this year. We also continue to expand our graduate program offerings, and this fall we've launched 2 new programs, a program in applied data analytics. Many of you recognize Dr. Peggy Wright along the way as a great mentor. She's absolutely the inspiration between the applied data analytics program, and then we also launched the criminal justice graduate program, and we're now focusing on expansion in nursing at the graduate level, so we're very excited about that. And thanks to the generosity of so many alumni and friends who stepped up literally in 1 year and helped us raise over $5.2 million for the transformation of Main Hall, we were able to expand nearly 40 additional spaces for students to help meet our growing traditional enrollment. And this summer, in literally 83 days, we were able to complete the first phase of our residential living master plan. We transformed all of 3rd Main, all of 4th Main, the penthouse, and the lobby, and we can't wait for you to see it. At 11:30 today, Oh, okay. So now, we are ready in just a moment to welcome you into Main Hall so that you can see what our students are just blessed to receive this fall. We're just so excited about it. But you know, best of all, perhaps, is that along with all of the improvements that we make from year to year, the heart, the core, the essence of Averett remains the same. In your alma mater, it's about people. It's where I started at the beginning of this event. Averett is about people. Averett's about relationships and how through these relationships, lives continue to be changed. Now, I also have to slip in somehow that others, not only in this community, in this region and state and beyond, they're increasingly aware of your alma mater and the accomplishments of this institution. And when I say that, those are your accomplishments as well. We were so pleased this year when U.S. News and World Report ranked Averett as the 13th best regional liberal arts college in the South. We rose from 17 to 13. That's our highest ranking ever. We were ranked the 4th best Southern Regional College for best value, and then so many of you, I hope, know what a special place. We're so grateful for the service, military service of our men and women, and we were ranked 6th best regional college in the South for veterans, and we just couldn't be more proud of that, and I hope you are proud of your alma mater. I won't run through any more accolades, I promise, since they're waiting in Main Hall. But let me close by saying, for all of you who've not been able to see the Frank Campbell Stadium and experience that place that's a wonderful tribute to Dr. Frank Campbell, I do hope you will join us today. But I want to remind you, we've got soccer, of course, at 1:30. Tonight with football, the game is at 6:30, but we encourage you to get there early because we anticipate a wonderful crowd. Now, it is only fitting that we would close this morning and this wonderful time together by singing our alma mater, those 58 precious words that speak to our hearts, that speak to our memories, and that speak to our souls forevermore. I am so pleased now to call upon Gary Tucker, Averett graduate, faculty member extraordinaire, to lead us in the singing of the alma mater. Thank you and congratulations to all of you.
Let's stand together. Hail to thee, our alma mater, proudly now we sing. Faithful to thy name forever, let our praises ring. Oh, dear Averett, we are thankful as we sing to thee, for honor, friendship, and real wisdom, thou dost hold the key. Averett University, memories dear we'll hold, we'll remember now and ever our dear blue and gold.
Thank you all very much for coming. If the award recipients could please come forward so we may take a photo of you.